But I am here tonight because the YMCA has been there to support us in a significant way. And as Marky said, you used the word enormous. I think that fits as well. My wife Marcia and I have supported the Y Capital campaign for many years. Marcia worked at the Hillsbury YMCA for 16 years and always wanted to contribute, partly as sort of to support the organization she worked for, but also because she always believed in the mission of the Y from a very young age. We've always supported the Y because Marcia worked there, but last year was different. Last year she did not work for the Y. But our decision to contribute to the Y was out of personal gratitude to the organization that lives its mission of serving its community. From a very young age, Marcia knew she wanted to work at the Y. She spent 27 years working for various Ys around the country. And after she graduated from college, she worked full-time at 4 different Ys in 4 different states. She was a senior physical director, and she was a director of member and volunteer services before our daughter was born. After she went back to work part-time as a fitness instructor. All that changed at the age of 50 when Marcia was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia, which is a communication disorder. She was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and then 4 months later she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Ever since that time, she's had several other ailments come up, most of them tied to Alzheimer's. And I think many of you know that Alzheimer's has a lot of the challenges that come with Alzheimer's. But one of the more emotionally draining challenges has nothing to do with the disease itself. It has to do with the abandonment one feels often by friends and family. We've been lucky. Our community, we live in Branchburg, has supported us with lots of help. But the YMCA has been there for us throughout the process as well. The support from the Y has not wavered, and they have adapted their support based on Marcia's needs. Alzheimer's has stripped away almost everything Marcia loved to do. She can no longer speak, she can no longer drive, she can no longer cook, and she needs assistance with just about everything. But she could still exercise, and the Y made that possible. She kept teaching her classes for as long as she could. That was one of the things that gave her a sense of normalcy and independence. But as the disease progressed, she was unable to keep teaching. And I had a conversation with her supervisor at one point, and I told him, I understand you have a business to run, and that you might not be able to afford to keep her on staff. He told me he couldn't afford not to. After all Marcia had given to the Y, after all the love and support that she received from staff and members, he told me it wouldn't be consistent with the Y's mission not to support her in her time of need. When Marcia could no longer teach, the Y encouraged her to take exercise classes, but she could no longer drive. So one of the fitness instructors would pick her up at the house, take her to the class, she would teach the class, and then she would bring her home. Eventually, even that was too much for Marcia to do, but the Y still opened its doors and its heart to Marcia, ensuring that someone was always with her when she was working out. And as I started to think about what the Y has meant to me, it isn't just people that I've gotten to know, it's the entire organization. From top to bottom, every time Marcia showed up at the Y, she was met with smiles, hugs, and words of encouragement. That's something we don't often see in the world of Alzheimer's. Compassion, caring, respect, and empathy are embodied in the culture of the Y. The Y did more than I ever expected and more than I ever asked for. It's truly a special organization that is committed to serving others. Throughout the year, I tried to make a special effort to thank everybody who gave us support and help. And sometimes after a while, to me, the words thank you just started to sound kind of commonplace. In December, I was making my personal year-end giving decisions, and I considered how I could thank the Y for the care, concern, and love for Marcia and me. So I did write a check at that point for their campaign for Hillsborough. Tonight is my chance to do more than write a check. This is a platform for me to thank those in leadership, those that work the front desk, the floor, and those that instruct, and the many, many kind and compassionate members for what they have meant to us. And most importantly, to thank the Y as an organization in which everyone embodies the mission of helping others. Living with Alzheimer's is a day in and day out series of can'ts. The list of things Marcia can't do grows longer every day. The Y gave her a gift that allowed her to hold on to her passion for fitness and exercise for as long as possible. Thank you to the Y, thank you to the people of the Y, and thank you all for listening to my story tonight.